your horror movie podcast.
All right, dude. Welcome back, Hack/Stab/Slash. Back for our 13th for 13. And this week we got Waterboy's pick, right?
Yes,
did you go with Beetlejuice or did Justin?
Wait,
I did not.
Yeah,
I thought you did.
Then. Okay.
Oh,
right.
Waterboy did. Okay.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah, all right. So now that we figured something out and we learned something new today, why don't you tell us a little bit about this Waterboy? Had you ever seen it before, and what was your goddamn expectation rating?
Of course, I've seen Beetlejuice. I mean, Beetlejuice is nostalgic to me. I mean, it's an amazing movie.
We
Michael
can't be
Keaton,
sure, dude. You've
on.
never seen fucking Halloween 3.
That's true.
Don't get me started with this.
That is true, and that was a great pod. Watch it when it comes out, guys. Great.
Don't
pod.
watch it, please. Just skip that one, guys.
The movies was amazing back then. I think it's amazing still today. It's worth a watch for everybody. Every single person. Number 2, not too sure. Got bad reviews. I don't know. Still gotta watch that. But
Are you sweeping while you talk?
I am, dude. I gotta clean up, dude. The kids left this place a mess.
It's dusty.
It's dusty up in here. But my expectation going into this is gonna be an 8.5 because Michael Keaton, dude. I love Michael Keaton, and Beetlejuice is awesome.
What about you, Justin?
It's kind of embarrassing. So
He's never seen it. He's never seen it.
I've never watched this movie from start to finish. Like I
fuck
have
you,
no. I have
Podcast
no.
over. Goodbye, guys.
No, it's stupid. I think I told people at work this the other day. I think I told Melanie asked me about Beetlejuice 2, and I told her I didn't see it, and she was like so upset and disappointed at me, like yelled at me. Pretty sure someone else. There was like a few people. They're like, "You're Mr. Horror." So I know I dropped the ball on this one. Obviously, I know all about it. I mean, it's been around forever. I have obviously seen different scenes. My parents, I think, used to watch this even at my house. So I mean, I've seen like the Deo scene. I mean, I've seen a bunch of different scenes, but I've never once sat through. Like in the beginning,
sat down and watched it start to finish.
I was like kind of shocked at some of the stuff. I was like, I'm gonna feel like an idiot. Like I don't. So anyway, I heard obviously good things. I know this is a cult classic, so I mean, my expectation would be probably like an 8.
Oh yeah,
nice. Justin, I'm gonna resonate with you real quick in saying that you haven't seen a cult classic or just a classic in general from start to finish. Because are you ready for this?
Let's go.
It's not Beetlejuice, but I've never seen the OG Texas Chainsaw Massacre from start to finish.
Wow.
What?
Okay, Sean.
Yeah, I've always seen chunks, big chunks of it, but I've never sat down from opening to ending credits.
The same way
in one
same
sitting.
thing. Same here, dude.
What?
I have not seen.
I've seen the entire movie. Like I've sat down and started it, and then had something pop up, and then like I've turned it on and watched from like the middle to the end. But I've never fully sat down from opening credit to ending credit without being interrupted.
Are you guys also devastated by what they did to the brand new Texas Chainsaw Massacre that they brought back?
Look, all right.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, let's not get me too off topic. I love the dude. I could talk to you about every single Chainsaw Massacre, but let's just focus on Beetlejuice.
So back to Beetlejuice, dude. My expectation rating on Beetlejuice, I hadn't watched this movie in about 20 years, if I'm being honest, but I fucking loved it every time I've seen it when I was younger, and I loved it this time around. My expectation on this rewatch was going to be a 9 because anything Tim Burton has ever made in his life has been a huge favorite of mine. Tim Burton is one of my top tier directors. I love everything he puts out there. Some people don't. I get it. Tim Burton is a certain type of flavor, but I like the way he uses colors, abstractness, the acting, the crazy clothes. I love pretty much everything Tim Burton does.
Did he do a Nightmare Before
Christmas?
Like,
Nightmare Before Christmas, Coraline, Frankenweenie, Edward Scissorhands. Like I can go on and on.
I tried watching that Nightmare movie, but they kept singing in it and stuff. Like I stopped. I had to turn it off. It was so bad.
Dude, Nightmare Before Christmas was a banger back in the day, dude.
I stopped.
It still is. What do you mean back in the day?
I tried watching it for the first time. My kids love that.
I bought it on YouTube just so my kids could watch it.
Dude, I hated it so much. I lasted like 40 minutes and I had to turn it off. It was so awful.
Well, you don't like musicals, so that is completely understandable.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of singing in it.
Hence the reason, everything like I said,
really weird.
Tim Burton is a certain type of flavor because, dude, he even did a Batman movie.
I am the one hiding under your bed.
Great song, incredible.
All right, you guys ready to get into this?
Let's get into it.
Let's do this. All right, so we got Beetlejuice. Come on, man. You think I'm that stupid?
So let's go. Careful.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, come on.
All right, so we get some beautiful opening credits of an overview of the town leading into a giant killer spider on top of someone's house. I hope they brought some insect spray because it turns out I'm fully kidding, Justin. I know you just had a panic attack, but this is just a miniature version of the town.
Is that Sting?
And Adam, being the generous soul he is, actually sets the spider free by throwing it out a fucking third-story window.
That's fine.
Him and Bob are exchanged some gifts back and forth because they're starting a 2-week vacation and they decided to stay home and get some things done around the house. Crazy ass Lady Jane shows up and she's trying to sell their house without their consent. Much like Justin, he doesn't like us hitting record without his consent. The nerve of some people, dude. Am I right? She got some dickhead from New York offering $260,000 for this house. I mean, back in the day, adjusted to inflation, that's like a couple mil.
That's a lot.
That's a fuck ton of money right now. I might take that and run. I might just buy the house next door.
Imagine if she said yes and the movie was just over.
The end. Good job. All right, so this happy couple heads into town to pick up some things for their home staycation. I love the absolute small town vibes you get. Everyone knows each other. They actually stop in front of a business and they say hi to Ernie, and they even go to the local hardware store where the barber knows them by name and offers them a haircut. And granted, he's like 110 and he's telling a story while he's in there getting his hardware. And by the time he comes out, he's like, yeah, good story. See you later.
Yeah, bye. Thank you.
When I say small town, this is such a small town. People don't even have their dogs on leashes because on their way home, there's like a little wiener dog or like I don't know what kind of dog it is. I'm just gonna stop right there. I'm just gonna continue. Is that okay, Justin?
That's fine.
Please continue. Please.
He said the word.
Right.
He said the word.
Yeah. So they slam on their brakes and they have an excruciatingly slow crash off the bridge. You good?
I just have one gripe. That didn't seem like a legit crash off the bridge. I mean, there's no way.
I mean, they were clearly being held, like clinging to life by that dog balancing on one of the board beams.
But the slow descent into the 3-foot water, I think they should have been fine.
Well, that's why this is so believable, because now we just think they're soaked and they're walking back to their house to warm up by a fire that they didn't start. Adam goes to head outside to retrace his steps because he can't remember anything. And then we see this crazy ass cutscene where he ends up in the miniature version of his own town. And then they can't see their reflections anymore. And then they come across, it's called the Handbook for the Recently Diseased. Excuse me, deceased?
Diseased.
While they're getting used to being dead, we hear a man reading a magazine about giant sandworms and an obituary welcoming Adam and Barbara to the afterlife. We also see that Adam and Barb see Jane outside their window, and she's dressed in all black like she's mourning. And they're just becoming like increasingly frustrated with everything that's going on around them. And you can tell Barbara's just getting pissed. She's had it up to here. You can't see it because we're on camera and my fucking hand is above it, but she's had it up to here.
It's up to there.
Our couple wakes up in an absolute panic, and I love how Barbara's levitating over the bed, like to the left of it, and then when she wakes up, she just crashes to the ground. They wake up in an absolute panic as a new family has actually bought their house, and they're moving in now, and they're just slamming shit around. The movers are just breaking shit. It's an absolute disaster. And then we get my man Ortho, who instead of, I mean, I don't know if he's a vampire because he won't go through the front door.
Yeah,
so he crawls in the fucking window that he doesn't fit in.
It's bad luck to go to the front door of a new home.
Yeah, it's absolutely stupid. So this man climbs through the window and he's there to fully remodel this house for them. As Ortho and Dahlia explore the house, we get to see a hanging Barbara inside of a closet, and she peels off her face and her eyeballs jump out. Love these effects. Ortho and Delia don't see him though, because, well, Barb's dead, and this isn't the Sixth Sense, and they can't see dead people. We get a wonderful attempt at a scare by a headless Adam as well, and none of this is working. Ortho and Delia get a taste of something spooky, though, when Adam sprints headlessly up these stairs at 1,000 miles an hour to shut and lock them out of the attic because he doesn't want them fucking around with this miniature town. This is like his prized possession. Mm-hmm. You know, no one touches my shit.
That's a pretty awesome.
Lock you out. Barbara also gets pissed because she wants them to leave because everything that she's done in this house, they're going to undo. She's no good at being a ghost, though, because she can't even scare people away. So she storms off outside the house and is back in this giant sandstorm of a world where we get this crazy ass, multicolored, layered head worm thingy jumping around. It's like, this is what Tremors should have looked like. Coming at her.
Tremors, let's go.
Sandworms.
Coming at her, and she's
Graboids.
panicking. Dude, the effects in this movie I love so much. But after this whole little scene, we see our family. They all sit down now for, I think they have Thai food as their first meal in this house. Instead of making like a nice home cooked meal, they sit down and they're eating Chinese.
Hold on, Sean, I just gotta, every single podcast, if anyone's ever eating, you break down the meals. Do you realize you do this? I love it so much. No, like, it kills me. Like, he gets he talks about the.
He had low
I'm fat for a reason, man.
Good, dude.
Remember Satanic Hispanics? You just talked about like the pizza, and you were so upset with the pizza.
I was so pissed off about the pizza because
hungry
who the fuck puts up pizza like that?
I'm hungry now.
Put a single olive on each slice. All right, we're getting up.
Wait, I didn't see that. How'd they actually do that pizza, dude? How'd they cut it?
Oh, yeah,
no, I don't want to talk about this because I'm having anxiety just thinking about it. I can picture it in the fucking pan.
Yeah, Sean had a pan
boiling.
I'm sorry, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, so this family is having a nice, beautiful conversation. Fucking Lydia, she's like, my whole life is miserable. It's like one giant dark room. Dahlia is just an absolute bitch, and she's like, well, maybe if you tried harder, you'd be a better person. Dude, did you see what she's using as a fucking headband? She's got one of those long black gloves that women used to like wear up to their elbows.
Oh, yeah.
She's using that to tie her hair up in like a bow. Like,
she's getting ready to get slapped.
The only one that seems to be enjoying this like nice countryside house that they just bought is Charles. He's all about this new lifestyle. He just wants to relax. He's the only one actually trying to, take in the air.
That's all we want to do. We just want to relax.
Yeah. Just chill, man.
We get moving crews ahead now, and they're moving in Dahlia's massively ridiculous, wonky ass sculptures. We get furniture that's built like I mean, who the fuck? What are you gonna put a t-shirt in that thing? It don't even look like the drawers can open. Dahlia's art is so horrendous though; it almost fucking kills her. And I love Lydia's reaction to all this because instead of trying to help her stepmother, dude, she's just taking pictures of the chaos and she's enjoying the hell out of this. So I want the neighbors, dude. There's like a group of people standing at the mailbox watching all this shit happen. Jane, the crazy lady, shows up and she gives Lydia a skeleton key to the whole house. And what a skeleton key is it opens every single door in this house. It's universal, if you will. Boom, 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 boom. Lydia heads up to the attic, though, because now she's got a key and she thinks she can open this door. We get a transition into a Beetlejuice commercial while Adam is holding this door shut, and he's offering free demon possessions with every exorcism.
Free
demon goes successfully, though.
Let's go.
You got to do your whole thing in that voice.
That was good.
Yeah.
The ghosts successfully keep Lydia out of the attic for a little longer. Adam's reading the book of the recently deceased. This book says, in an emergency, to draw a door on the wall. So he does, and nothing happens. Barbara gives him shit, and he goes, oh, yeah, I got to knock 3 times, too, so let's go try that. So he fucking knocks. And this brick wall turns into a giant door, and it opens up, and everything is glowing green. And Barbara and Adam decide to walk inside. We get a cutscene, and we see Charles is happier than a pig in shit with his new countryside residence. He's even thinking about taking up bird watching before Lydia gives him a jump scare, to which he replies, "Can you go help your mother with something and like get away from me? I came up here to relax and enjoy some quiet time, and it's not that way if you're up here scaring me and asking me all kinds of questions." Now we're getting into my favorite parts of the movie. We see Adam and Barb show up to some kind of like afterlife waiting room, and it's Waterboy's turn.
All right, so now we got Adam and Barbara here in the afterlife waiting room where we see a bunch
whole thing in that voice.
You'll blow out your voice.
Yeah, if I can do a macho or a Latino, you can do this.
Oh my god.
Where we see a bunch of other dead people with one being burned to a crisp and smoking and offering Adam a cigarette and shrunken head just doing his usual stare at Barbara. Now they're told to go to room 6 by a guy hanging on a rope, clearly run over, and just glides away to the next room. Walking through the corridor, we see a place where lost souls have been exorcised. Death for the dead, you know what I mean? Arriving at the door, they enter and are back in the room, all decked out in so-called art. Juna gives him a talk about it, wanting to get rid of who lives here there, and even mentioned the Beetle, where she stops them and says he used to work with her and he's insane. I am insane a little bit, and not dare summon him by saying my name 3 times. And he's been.
Did you notice how they don't spell his name right on anything?
Yeah. Switch over to me luring a fly over with the Zagnut candy bar that drags the fly down, and I eat it because I'm hungry. I've been starving for years. Will not stop for Adam and Barbara to try to do this scare tactic by putting holes in sheets and making moaning noises. But Charles isn't buying it and already thought it was Lydia. They even go to try to do it to Delia, who was sleeping, and wakes up for a second to turn the TV off, hoping it would stop their sound. Lydia finally sees him taking pictures, telling them to leave that freaky stuff they do alone, thinking it's her parents, but nope. Taking pictures, she sees that they got no legs. She's actually just, and they're indeed not gross under there. And she reads the handbook and she can see them because she's also weird. She goes in the attic with her and she sees the miniatures leaving, telling them to get another routine because the sheets are not working.
The sheets are not working.
She proceeds to tell Delia about the ghost, and obviously she won't believe her. Back upstairs, they see a light blinking on the miniature, and they actually say my name 3 times. And they teleport into the model graveyard with the sign pointing down into my grave. They start digging me up all the cork and cardboard until they hit my casket, where I rise straight up out of the ground. And they're all like, what the hell? I then immediately pick Barbara up and plant one right there on her. And then I go over to Adam and ask him how the relationship is and if I can, have a shot with her. Got to see if I'm qualified for the job, though. I lived through the Black Plague, and I've seen The Exorcist 167 times. That it keeps getting funnier every time. And not to mention, I'm also dead. So Adam asks if I can be scary, where I get the back shot of shit coming out of all my face, and it scares the shit out of them. So that's a yes on that part.
Did you say they wanted to give me a back shot of the shit?
Yeah,
coming on my backside or something.
Yeah, they proceed to talk they proceed to talk amongst themselves with me even starting to lift up Barbara's dress with a twig because it's been a long time. I haven't seen any of that stuff. Hey, don't leave yet. We even shop at the same store. Hey, Amano, come on. Barbara then says, "Home, home, home," and they get home where I'm pissed and I knock the fucking tree over. Dinner time though. And we see Ortho, the paranormal researcher, also bringing up that Lydia had seen ghosts. Ortho wants to know and is super curious. Then he starts to see Delia start to say, "Hey, Or Charles starts standing with Delia and they start dancing, and a big, huge dance party at the table. Even Ortho playing the little ice thing with like a drum. Then the shrimp becomes hands and that pulls them into the table and then throws them back. And then Adam and Barbara upstairs, like looking out the window, seeing if anybody's leaving. But nope, nobody's leaving. They're all interested in seeing them as ghosts.
Yeah, I love how she goes upstairs and she's like, yeah, no one's leaving. They want to meet you, though.
Yeah, right.
But unfortunately, they don't want to come downstairs, and everybody's like, fine, if I can't see ghosts, I'm leaving. Even with Delia's agent calling her a flake, and she's always been a flake. If she insists on scaring people, she should do it with their sculptures. Ortho is still curious. They all go upstairs in the attic, and Ortho finds the book, and he takes it with him, and they head downstairs into where I might become a snickety snake. Justin, it's your turn.
Thank you, Beetlejuice.
I can't tell if you smoke a pack a day or if you really got a shit.
All right, well, thank you for that, Beetlejuice. And
you're very welcome.
He does become a snake, a giant freaking rattlesnake, and he is pissed. He is going right for Lydia. He is about to strike, but luckily Barbara saves the day. She comes through, says his name 3 times, calls him off, and we see him. He's shrunken back down to the board now, and he is pissed. He's like, whoa, don't bother me when I'm working. Like, what are you even doing? I'm here trying to help. Like, this is what I do, like, for the love of God. And he also mentions how he needs action. And we see there's a little model strip club. We literally see him. I was dying. They literally see him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, get so excited as you see him go into the little strip club. And then we basically see Barbara and Charles. They're back to, I don't even know what you call it, like the waiting room. They see that woman, and she's basically like, "Look, you guys screwed up like bad. You got photographed. For the love of God, you got the book stolen. Like, you can't control Beetlejuice. Like, this is going terrible. You really need to get the deets out and basically, like, show me what you do. Like, you guys have to be scary. Like, do you even have this in you?" And then we have some more of that really weird, creepy animation stuff that Sean was talking about. Like, they both practice what they're gonna do. Like, they like pop their eyeballs out. They transform their faces. I don't even know what you guys want, that's even called, what they turn
I
themselves
actually
into.
love the way he just like pulls out his nose, stretches his face. It's like claymation, just morphing their face around.
Yeah, like wicked creepy stuff like that. It's so creepy, and then basically like, all right, now go get the photos and go get the handbook. And we see Charles and Bob they're kind of like questioning stuff like, I don't know about this, like if this is good for Lydia and everything. And you flash to Lydia, and she's like, I don't like, was she writing like a suicide note or something?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I was gonna say, holy shit, got really dark. She was talking about like she didn't want to live and everything. I'm like, okay, but Lydia goes to look for the ghost now. She goes to looks for Barbara and Charles, but who does she see? She meets Beetlejuice, and he is begging her. He's like, "Yo, let me out. Like, you got to say my name 3 times." She's like, "Well, what's your name?" He's like, "I can't say it." And so they play charades. I thought the scene was awesome. Like, they play charades to find out his name, which I thought was so badass. Really cool. Such a cool thing. They literally show like the orange juice, and like she's guessing all the different things. She actually even guesses. She says the name 2 times, but luckily she stops because she wants to talk to Barbara. And thank God Barbara and Adam come right back before she say it. And first of all, they spook her because their faces, his nose is still elongated and it looks so creepy and everything. But yeah, they save her. They don't say it 3 times. And all of a sudden you hear, just as they're going to do stuff, the family bursts into the room. They kind of hide. And the dad, like they grab the whole like model table and like they go downstairs. When they go downstairs, you see there's a presentation going on about the ghost and everything. And they're like, Lydia, like, we need to show them the ghosts. Like, where are they? And Lydia's like, oh, well, they're gone. And then you see Otho there, and he's got the book, and he's like, they're hiding. They're not gone. And now it is seance time. So everyone is gathered around the table while Otho reads from the book. And we see Barbara and Adam upstairs, and all of a sudden they start to like disappear. And Barbara first, she appears over the friggin' table, and as is Adam a couple of like seconds later, and they're like decomposing. It does not look good for them. I don't know, like they're like, oh my god, they're dying. Well, they're already dead, but something bad is happening. This is not good. So Lydia runs to find Beetlejuice. He's like, hey, you have to help me. She's like, please, you got to help me. And he's like, oh yeah, no problem. Like, just say my name 3 times, and we also just use that to agree to get married with me, and I'll definitely help you. So she agrees because she needs to help them. Beetlejuice 3 times. Let's fucking go. It is showtime. He emerges. Awesome. And never mind, he's got like his arms like stretch out and they turn into like 2 giant like mallets that you see at like a carnival.
That's so cool.
He blasts the 2 people like they're a carnival game and hits them, and they shoot through the friggin' roof. Like, holy shit, that was awesome.
Hell yeah.
So now it is like wedding time. Like all of a sudden, like this is moving fast now. We got complete chaos. Like they are out there at the counter getting married by some crazy, creepy thing. Lydia tries to say no. He covers his mouth. She tries to say his name. Then Adam tries to say his name. He says Beetle, and as he says it, like his freaking teeth fall out. His teeth, and this scene was awesome too. His teeth were like shattering around the ground, and Beetlejuice is like tap dancing, like trying to kick him. Like complete chaos. And then poor Barbara tries to say Beetle, and then all of a sudden her mouth is like zippered. She like ends up fighting through it and unzippers it to try to say it again. And then he puts like a lock on her mouth, and then he sends them both away. He like shoots them both far away. She's back in like the crazy sandstorm place again. Adam is like shrunken, hidden somewhere. Super weird. Back to they're trying to get married again. And then Adam, though, he like drives this small little car, and he's like coming for her. He's like, I got you. And he drives this small car and he crashes into his foot and causes the foot fire. And so now Beetlejuice, yeah, what the hell? He's like, his foot is on fire. And then Barbara, out of friggin' nowhere, she's riding one of those damn sandworms. And she literally, the thing opens his mouth and swallows him. He crashes to the floor and drags him back to hell, I imagine. Like, holy hell, that was badass. And then all of a sudden, everything's calmed down, and we have a flash forward now to the future, and we see Adam and Bob now talking to Lydia. Lydia came home. She's talking about the homework, like, how did you do and everything. and she's like, come on, please let me do it. Stuff I did so good. And we see Lydia, they let her do it. She's floating and just awesome. Like they're singing a song, she's floating and dancing in the thing. We see Adam and Bob dancing. We see their parents. It's all a happy thing. We see her actual parents like reading the book of the recently diseased and deceased. And
you did it too.
I did it too. They're reading the book. Everything looks good. Awesome. They're singing the whole Shake Senora song. Everything's great. And then we get a shot of Beetlejuice. He's back in that waiting room now. And he's like trying to like cut the line. He's got a number and his number's wicked long. He's next to like a friggin' head shrinker who's already shrunk one guy's head. And then it's pretty awesome. The guy like kind of like put some dust on his head and boom, he's gonna
some crack on him.
The end. Shake, Senora. Let's fucking go. Movie over.
Shake, Senora.
Work your body like now.
Okay, I believe you. All right. There we go.
Jump in the line.
Oh. All right, what do you guys think? What do you guys think?
All right, dude. I can't say enough good things about Beetlejuice. I said in the beginning, I love Tim Burton's directing style. I love the abstractness. I love the weirdness. I love the creativeness. I love his use of colors, his camera angles, the way the lighting is in this movie. I love the song choices. I can't say enough things about how much I love this movie. If you haven't seen this, like Justy, you need to get out from under a rock and you need to go watch Beetlejuice. I'm not even going to sit here all day and just praise this movie because I think it has enough.
It's got all the praise
that it gets all its own praises. I'm giving this movie a 9.1.
I'm going to give it a 9. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. And after like knowing like I knew nothing like about like any backstory about how this stuff, but some fun facts for Emily, like Michael Keaton, he basically improvised almost this entire movie. Like it was all
he ad-libbed every one of his lines throughout this movie.
It's insane. That just brings you like how awesome he is. And even that little scene where he kicks the tree over, that wasn't even meant to happen. He kicked the tree over and that was just one of the fake trees and he looked over there and he just improvised like
he kicked it. It wasn't supposed to fall over when it fell over. He improvised the nice model.
It's so awesome. I love this movie. My kids love this movie. It's an amazing
It's
movie.
also a great introduction to horror.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're a parent and you want to get something spooky, but not like wet your bed type scary, this is a great intro to horror. If your 100%. Kids are wanting to, go down that path and watch scary movies because it is spooky season.
Mm-hmm.
Justin.
That's Pagania.
I think this is fun, weird as fuck. It's definitely a good time. I wrote it's a great October watch, super creative. It definitely, I get it's got a cult following. Tim Burton, his whole style and image and stuff. I'm not like, I can see how people love it. I don't really love it. I did like the Batman movies, but I don't know. They just don't hook me in for whatever reason. And I had no nostalgia attached to this at all. But I still give it a solid 7.3. I think it was a fun, good movie and everything. I definitely don't love it it's definitely fun. Like if my kids wanted to watch it, I want to watch it. But overall, I care less to ever watch it again. But it's still a good movie. I like I said, I liked it. I just didn't love it like everyone else. I don't know. But solid. 7.3 is a great. I still think it's a solid score.
I said that at the beginning, dude. I was like, Tim Burton is definitely a flavor type director.
Mm-hmm.
You're either in love with him, or I don't think many people hate his style.
No, that's what
but I think it's either you really love him or you tolerate it. Like you're like,
Tim Burton.
It's all right.
Exactly. Like this, like I said, I give this a 7.3. This is a good movie. I don't think anyone can say this is like not entertaining and fun. It is a good movie. Do I love it like some people? Because I know some people just love his style.
Some people are diehard.
Like diehard for Tim Burton. Like
my
I
kids
like
love Corpse Bride too.
Like I've seen all the trailers for all those movies. They just never even like all those weird stuff. I just never even like I'd see it and I'd just be like, huh. Like if it was on, if someone else wanted to watch it, maybe I'd watch it, but it just never like, I don't know. I'm not interested in it at all. But I mean, this movie, super creative, 7.3, awesome spooky season watch.
All right, you guys got some fun facts you want me to touch on some?
Touch them.
Hold on, let me touch first just because you guys probably have more than me.
You want to touch first? All right.
It was so many. It took a
I was
while
gonna
to
say,
sift through the ones I wanted to talk about.
That's the thing I was gonna say. I'm just like everyone. What hasn't been said about this movie? But I got Beetlejuice appears in 14 and a half minutes of this film. That was the actual screen time. Michael Keaton was also really inspired by Chop Top in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which I thought was really awesome. He even said that himself. I thought that was so badass. The budget was 15 million, and it cleared over 74 million just in
there's no way this isn't still making money today.
Well, that's the thing I was gonna say. Just in the
easily.
original box office, it cleared 74 million, so it crushed its budget just then. And obviously, that was just the box office then. It's cleared, dear God, how much? Who knows how much it has? This movie's such a classic. It's been, I mean, in Scary Movie, like you have Cindy dancing in the air like to this. I mean, hell, even in Scream 2, you got Ghostface saying it's showtime one time when he's, I mean, there's so many different, this is influence. Like I said, people love Tim Burton, so influential. Those are just two different things of it. Take it away.
All right. So did you guys know that the studio originally wanted to call this movie House Ghosts?
I read that.
Horrible. And then as a joke, Tim Burton responded, "Why don't we call it Scared Sheetless?"
Yeah.
And then he was morbidly like horrified that the studio was like, actually, that
sounds really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael Keaton, like Waterboy had said earlier, he did ad-lib almost all of his lines. Michael Keaton also came up with Beetlejuice's character look himself. When he talked to the makeup department, he said he wanted to be creepy, decayed, and look like he had just stuck his finger in a light socket. I think he pulls it off perfectly.
100%.
Director Tim Burton feared the Deo sequence wouldn't go over so well because he didn't think it was very funny at all. Even the greats can be wrong sometimes because audiences fucking loved it, and that is one of the most iconic scenes Tim Burton has ever filmed.
Oh yeah.
You want to date something real quick. This was the first film that was sent out on DVD from Netflix back in 1998.
Wow.
The visual effects in this movie, the budget was about $1 million. A major factor in Tim Burton deciding to take these effects and just make them as B-movie and as tacky as he possibly could. Like you can see behind me, this is all supposed to be grass. And all that is insulation for like a soundproof room that they've painted green and just dumped everywhere. Like it's so good. The Matlins, Adam and Barbara, did you guys see their bumper sticker?
No.
It says I break for animals.
There we go.
And then originally Michael Keaton actually refused this role because he just didn't get it. And then he sat down, he had a meeting with Tim Burton, and they actually watched one of Tim Burton's movies, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, together. And Michael Keaton was like, I get it now, and I want in. You guys got anything?
That's all I got.
There's
literally just a mountain. When I was scrolling through and it gives you that option at the bottom that says more, it said 50 more, and I clicked it, and then I clicked it again.
50 more.
And then I was like, I'm not clicking this again.
Jesus. It was the 10th biggest grossing film of 1988.
Yes. All right. That it?
I think that's it. I think we're good.
Well, Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
I'm Hack Stab Slash. I'm Hacky. That's Stabby. This dude.
Just Justin. Have the best day ever. Smash that subscribe and let's get it.
Ever.